Well, divisions at COP28 in Dubai over the future of fossil fuels and which countries should foot the bill, well, that continues. It comes as a record number of fossil fuel reps attend. So where does that leave corporations? Well, nearly all of the chemicals used to make plastic use fossil fuels. Enter a new US center reducing the need to create new plastics. Now, the Republic Services Polymer Center is opening in Las Vegas this week. It's expected to produce more than 100 million pounds of recycled plastic each year for packaging and other applications. The center already has a big name customer on the dock here. Well, Republic Services CEO Jon Vander Ark is here to tell us more. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Jon. So, I want to first start with this big name here, because people think of plastic, they maybe think of packaging, but talk about Coca-Cola here.
Yeah, obviously we collect a lot of plastics. We pick up something 5 million times every day, and a big chunk of what we pick up is recycling, and that's, cardboard and plastics are the two biggest commodities. Most of plastics today gets downcycled. So think of your water bottle, detergent bottle, milk jug. That's going to go into pipes, park benches, carpets, which is good. It's not going to go in the landfill, but at the end of the life of that product, it's going to end up in the landfill. And what the Polymer Center really unlocks is for us to get to true circularity. So turning that detergent bottle back into the detergent bottle, or the water bottle or the beverage bottle back into the beverage bottle. And that's where Coca-Cola comes in. Obviously, they've made some pretty bold commitments around using recycled plastics in their products. And the Polymer Center is a huge enabler to help them reach their targets.
And how difficult is it when some of these targets, they are voluntary? Some of these companies are doing this of their own accord, trying to push for sustainability here. But talk about some of the partnerships that you're making with companies and how incentivized some of your clients are.
Yeah, I think it's both voluntary. It's also regulatory. So you see states, you see California, Washington, New Jersey, they're putting in mandates that by 2025, you need 15% post-consumer content. That ramps up to about 50% by 2030. So both of the things are at play. And listen, there's a lot of demand for this product because the market's short supplied. So we could have sold out our Las Vegas center probably 5 times over. If we wanted to. People are lining up because the market is short supplied on truly food grade recycled PET or recycled HDPE. And that's what this center unlocks.
So talk about recycled plastic and how it's made and how you see that really contributing to the circular economy here when we think of the future of how we can reduce fossil fuel use.
Yeah, so what we do today is we take that recycled plastic out of our 75 recycling centers, and our West Coast operations will flow through Las Vegas, and we'll have 3 more of these centers over the next few years. And it sorts all of that plastics, the HDPE and the PET, separates them and gets color sorting, and then it really does hot washing and cleaning, and then eventually pelletizes it. And then that can go right into the bottlers or the other manufacturers, right back into food grade product. No one has ever done this before in the United States, and it's a big investment. We're going to spend $75 million in Las Vegas and $300 million across the country in these 4 centers to get this product where it needs. And again, it's good for the environment. It's good for our shareholders as well. We think we're going to have a positive return on this as well.
So talk about some of the returns, because you mentioned the investment in this space. What sort of returns are you seeing so far, and what are the expectations going forward?
Yeah, we think we're going to have north of our company EBITDA margin average on this product, so north of 30%, and rates of return, in the mid-teens. So these are really attractive investments, and ties right into our belief that in order to be economically sustainable or environmentally sustainable, you have to be economically sustainable. Those two things have to go hand in hand. Right? If you want to do good, you have to be profitable over time, which allows us to reinvest. And broadly, we're trying to challenge every ton that goes into one of our landfills and think, could we do something different with it? Could we have a second life for that product? Which is, again, good for our revenue, good for our shareholders, and also allows us to preserve that valuable landfill space for future generations.
And so then when you look at some of the resistance that you're getting on, obviously you have a lot of companies reliant on fossil fuels. And when you look at some of that resistance, what do you think is going to be the tipping point to perhaps encourage or speed up the energy transition?
Yeah, I think what we're pro on is multiple solutions. So lots of people talking about banning single-use plastics, and I would encourage somebody to live their life for any period of time without single-use plastics, it'd be pretty challenging. So plastics are going to be with us for a while, and we think we need to work on this challenge on every front. So mechanical recycling, chemical recycling, material substitution, and packaging design, all the way to really creative things like enzymes that could eat plastics, which we think over time, longer term period of time, could be viable. So we're not locked into any one solution. We know there's a single-use plastics problem, and we want to be part of the solution. And there's a lot of talking, and we favor doing. So that's why we're voting with our feet, with our wallet, to start arresting the trend on climate change and seeing if we can make a difference.